attribute routing in ASP.NET Web API. So in the last session we discussed about the convention based routing. We are having the attribute routing as well if you are willing to have the more control over the generated URL pattern. And sometimes the attribute routing help us to resolve the root parameters ambiguity when two root having the same pattern. So now let's first understand the attribute routing, then we will discuss about the benefit of attribute routing here. So first of all, we need to configure the attribute routing in the web API config file. So there you need to call the config.map http attribute routes. So the method you need to call on the config instance. Then here we can define the attribute routing by using the root attribute. So the root attribute we can define here the attribute routing. It's a customer / customer ID / orders. And if you will see in this case, the attribute routing is helping us to make the more generic the way of generating the URL, because here the objective is I want to find out the customer orders. So here what we have mentioned that in the attribute routing, we first fetching the customer using the customer ID, then that particular customer detail I'm getting here. So sometimes we need to get the drill down information. So in that case, the attribute routing is helping us in case of a web API. So let's see how we can configure the attribute routing in the code label. So I'm having the last project which we created using the convention based routing. So let's first of all let's enable the attribute routing here. So you can see it's already enabled, so we don't need to do anything. So let me comment one of the root, because the default API I'm not using here. I'm just going to use here the API / controller / section. Now here in the product controller label, I'm willing to access a root with the help of attribute routing. So here I can use here my attribute routing, let's say route, and define the pattern. As a pattern I'm just using, let's say product / show dash all. So I'm just putting here dash as well, because dash we cannot put in the method name, but with the help of attribute routing we can put it. So now this action we can call it by using this root pattern here, product / show all. Same way we can get this product information as well. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using here product / get, or we can use here, let's say get dash details, then a parameter we are expecting here as ID. So this ID parameter I just mentioned which we are willing to receive here. So let me put the breakpoint over here and breakpoint here also. So let's run the code and see how these two roots are working. And even the way of defining the root is exactly similar as we have in ASP.NET MVC. So if you are already familiar with ASP.NET MVC, so you will not find any difficulty to configure the attribute route at the web API level also. So I need to call it here using the product / show all. So it's my product / show all. So you can see it's coming here, and then do continue, we're getting the things. So this time you will see we skip the API prefix now, because it's now working with this attribute routing. It's not working as per this convention based routing. Begin the convention based routing, there is a API, but here we didn't mention the API, we directly calling it. Now if you will try to call this action by using this convention, let's say the API / controller / action, so it will not be called now. You can try it here. Now I can try it to call here the product. So I'm trying to call it, let's say API / product, then show. You can see what it is showing to us. It's showing here like no action was found. So we are not able to call it because explicitly it's now going to follow the attribute routing. As soon as I will comment this root attribute, it will start to call by the convention based routing approach. So here the attribute routing is overwriting the default convention based routing, so that was not working. Now you can see it is working fine perfectly. So make sure if you have configured the attribute routing at your action label, so now attribute routing will work, the convention based routing will not work here.